The Boy by the River, a story of pain, purpose, and healing. Pain can become purpose, and rejection can birth restoration. When love replaces revenge, even broken families can be whole again. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between green hills and flowing rivers, lived a man who had everything: wealth, strength, and a house that many admired. But there was one thing he longed for more than anything: a child. He had married a woman of stunning beauty, whose laughter once made flowers bloom in his heart. But after 7 long years, their marriage still bore no child. The joy that once filled their home slowly turned to tears and hushed prayers. As the years rolled on, mockery and whispers replaced the respect they once enjoyed. Neighbors laughed behind their backs. Friends began to withdraw. Even relatives looked at them with pitiful eyes. "What good is beauty without fruit?" some would murmur. The couple, though hurt, clung to each other and finally turned their faces to God in desperation. One cold, tear-filled night, they cried before the Lord with all they had, and in His own time, He answered. The woman conceived. Joy flooded their home, washing away years of shame. They prepared the nursery, bought clothes, and danced under the stars. But when the day of delivery came, their joy was pierced with sorrow. The baby, a boy, was born with only one working leg. The other lay limp, lifeless from the waist down. According to the cruel customs of their people, such a child was considered a curse, one to be silently erased. At first, they couldn't do it. They chose to raise him. They named him Blessing. But as he grew, so did the pressure. Villagers avoided their home. Their once loyal friends grew distant. Family advised in whispers, "Let the child go. He will only bring shame." When Blessing turned 7, they made a painful decision. They told him they were going for a family tour by the riverside. They dressed him in new clothes, shoes he had never worn before. His heart was excited, but something inside him felt uneasy. In his parents' bags were a panga and machete. He didn't understand why. As they reached the quiet part of the river, the mood changed. Smiles disappeared. His mother looked away. His father's hands trembled. Suddenly, as his father moved forward, Blessing panicked and tried to run. In the chaos, he slipped and grabbed onto a tree root hanging from the river bank. He cried for help.
And just when his hands were giving up, a hunter passing through the woods heard his cry. The hunter, a kind old man with no children of his own, took Blessing in. He listened to his story with tears in his eyes. "You shall live," he told him. "You are not a curse. You are a sign." Years passed. Baraka grew under the hunter's care. Though he walked with crutches, his spirit stood taller than ever. He spent time in the woods, learning the secrets of leaves and roots, of barks and flowers. The forest became his school, and pain became his teacher. One day, he overheard a woman crying in the village. A skin disease had tormented her for years. Baraka quietly went into the bush and returned with herbs. He mixed them, gave her instructions, and left. Within days, she was healed. Word spread like wildfire. Blessing, the crippled boy who should have died, was now blessing the healer. His name, once laughed at, now echoed in honor. He became wealthy, known far and wide. Not for revenge, but for healing. Then one day, as the sun dipped low, 2 weak shadows approached his compound, an old man and woman, both sick, thin, and tired from life's beatings. They knocked. Baraka opened the door, and froze. It was them. His mother fell to her knees, weeping. His father looked away in shame. "It's you," they whispered. "You are alive?" Blessing said nothing. He turned and ran into the bush. They thought it was anger. But he returned, with herbs, oils, and water. He sat them down gently. He washed their feet. He tended to their wounds. He cooked for them. He sang the lullabies they once sang to him. And as they healed, so did their hearts. Lessons learned. 1. God's delays are not his denials. The couple waited 4 years, but God's blessing came at the right time. 2. Every child is a gift. Disabilities do not make anyone less human or less valuable. 3. Cultural traditions must be questioned. Not all customs honor life or truth. Sometimes, breaking tradition is the godly thing to do. 4. Your beginnings don't define your destiny. Blessing was left to die, yet he rose to heal others. 5. Forgiveness is strength, not weakness. Baraka showed that the greatest healing power is love. 6. The ones who hurt you today may need your help tomorrow.